I've been having a little bit of a sort out in the lock lab, and I found this curtain pick, and I just wanted to have a little chat about this guy here, Andy Mack. Andy Mack has an excellent YouTube channel, but he also makes a lot of locksmith tools, and I will put his details so that you can follow a link to his page and see for yourself what Andy gets up to. Right from very early on, Andy was an influencer over me. I watched his videos. I used to watch him pick open mortise locks, and I used to think how amazing it was, and his explanations of what he did and how he did it were always very, very helpful. And I reached out to Andy and messaged him, and he actually replied back, and he was there for me fairly early on in my locksmith career, and obviously helped me out with a few custom wires and picks. And these two here don't get as much use as maybe they should do, but these two curtain picks I like very much. I've got the one here on my right, in my right hand, is a 7 gauge, and the one in my left hand is a 5 gauge. So we've got a 5 and 7 gauge pick, and his wires are quite unique. He very, very conveniently marks the wires up with this coloured shrink wrap, so you know what you're dealing with. So these are for bolt on the left, and the red ones are bolt on the right, and the wires themselves come in best described as long, medium and short, so they encompass a lot of the different locks that you're likely to try and open. And the finish on them is always exemplary. They are beautifully formed. They're very smooth. They've been polished and shined. Arguably you don't need to, but it's nice to see that, and it makes them good to use. Also, the wire themselves, when you're using these, as you are applying force, a little bit of that force is taken up with the wire itself, so it gives you some good feedback on how much force you're applying to lift a lever. So in my vise here is a lock that Andy gave me very early on, and when I first got this lock, I didn't understand how to open it at all, and I practiced and I tried and I practiced, and in the end I chipped the hard plate off so I could actually see the what was going on with the levers through the side of the lock. I've obviously put that back on now because we don't need to see that, but as you can see, it's an ERA Profit. We've got the 2 dimples, we've got a 5 gauge, and it's in this sort of goldy bronzy colour. We've got a working key there, and what I'm going to do is just pop the long wire with the bolt on the left. So we pop the pick in, we put the wire in, and then you can turn the curtain, and obviously we're now ready to start picking. On this particular model of pick, I think you may have changed this, but you can undo this screw and you can give yourself a little bit more leverage there on that handle. So what I'm going to do is just pick this, and when you pop your wire in and you pull it backwards and forwards underneath those lever bellies, it virtually decodes itself and tells you how to pick this lock. So if I go underneath lever 1 there without actually lifting it and push the pick forward, it's obstructed by lever 2, and I need to turn the wire to get underneath it. So lever 2 is actually lower than lever 1, and then lever 3 goes back up again, as does 4 and 5. And on these locks, where the pick wire is obstructed from moving backwards and forwards, the levers that sit lower are effectively a low lift lever. So I'm going to leave lever number 2 till last. So we'll start with lever number 1, and I'm just going to apply a very gentle pressure to this pick handle, and I'm going to lift lever 1 up until it sets, Then I'm going to go to lever 5, then lever 4, and you can hear the levers are setting. There's one again, and when the levers are set into their gates, they give a nice tap. So that's 5, that's 4, that's 1, we'll miss 2, let's give 3 a nudge up, 5, 4, 3 and 2. So when I'm happy that all of those high lift levers have been set, I'm just going to position the pick now underneath lever 2 and just give that a little nudge. And if we've got the gates lined up, then we'll have the lock open. There we go, the lock's open. So exactly the same techniques as you would use with any other curtain pick. As you can see, this opens the lock exactly the same as any other curtain pick that I use. So yeah, it's a great tool, and I would thoroughly recommend you check out Andy Mack. I'm very thankful for having discovered him quite early on, and for supplying me with these lovely tools and various wires, overlift wires for applications. So yeah, there you go. Thank you, Andy.
We worked our week, we need a day, 24-hour getaway. Let's take it slow, fill up our tank, try to forget yesterday.